As much people hate on Chuba, they don't like him because he was a Rule product and Matt Rule's wife decided to choose him. I wanted to choose him. Chuba Hubbard had a vast improvement from last year to this year, and you can see it's obvious. If you can take the hate out your eyes, you can open your eyes and see that Chuba Hubbard was quite effective last year in multiple games throughout the year when he got his opportunities. What's up, Panthers Nation? Aaron Duncan here with another installment in our training camp roster breakdown. And today, we're going to the offensive backfield. We're talking about the running backs. Yes, the most underappreciated position in the NFL. But we have to talk about the Panthers group in general. But before we get into that, like I said, my name is Aaron Duncan. Recap and analysis of the Panthers is what I do here. Hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss any videos, because with training camp coming up, I'm going to be all over this stuff. I will be on site at training camp for every practice. So if you don't want to miss anything and to get all the insight, make sure you are subscribed. But also give this video a thumbs up, because it really helps me out in the algorithm a lot. Like, you guys really don't understand how much the engagement helps. So please take the time to give the video a thumbs up. And of course, make sure you go check out the rest of the playlist if you have not caught up on the other position groups. I am breaking down every position. But with the running backs, let's go ahead and take a look at the depth chart from the top to bottom. We're going to start off with Miles Sanders, our prize free agent pickup. Chuba Hubbard will be stepping into that RB2 role yet again. Then Raheem Blackshear, of course, who contributed last year, and the newcomers like Cameron Peoples and Tion Evans, and of course Spencer Brown, who's been around as well, who contributes on the special teams. We know that Miles Sanders will be that lead guy, and he was brought in for a reason. He has that connection with Duce Staley, that previous background with Frank Reich as well from their Eagles days. So I'm excited to see what Miles Sanders will bring to this team as the lead back. But let's go ahead and fast forward to the position outlook, because Miles Sanders, like I said, he will be bringing in as a 3-down back. Everything they've known and echoed in the press leading up is that they see Miles as a 3-down back. They want to get back to what he was doing his rookie year in Philadelphia, where he was catching a lot more passes out of the backfield, where he caught over 50 passes as a rookie. Not much of what they did with him in the latter years of his career, but it seems like the team wants to get him back that way, and that's the reason why they brought him in, and that's the reason why they made him the highest paid running back of this offseason thus far. But I'm excited for what Miles Sanders can do. I dropped my film breakdown on him and talked about my concerns, wondering if, hey, can he do the same thing when he's not with a super elite offensive line? Even though the Panthers do have a top-notch offensive line, I still want to see what he can do when he's not with that star-studded group in front of him and with a bunch of weapons around him, because he will be leaned on heavy by Bryce Young, not just with the running game, but like I said, catching passes as well out the backfield. So let's pay attention to Miles Sanders and how his success or failure could be a big telltale of how our offense does as a whole. And although he will get a steady dose of the rock, I do expect Chuba Hubbard to get a lot of playing time himself. Miles Sanders hasn't played more than 57% of the snaps in over 2 years, and then he only played 70. So most of the time he's splitting carries a lot with a couple other backs. Frank Reich is known for doing running back by committee. Duce Staley, the places that he's been, he's done running back by committee. And of course, Miles Sanders split time with Kenneth Gainwell last year, and it is what it is. I mean, even though he's gotten paid more money, he's still going to expect him to split carries because Chuba has progressed. As much people hate on Chuba, they don't like him because he was a Rule product and Matt Rule's wife decided to choose him. I wanted to choose him. Chuba Hubbard had a vast improvement from last year to this year, and you can see it's obvious. If you can take the hate out your eyes, you can open your eyes and see that Chuba Hubbard was quite effective last year in multiple games throughout the year when he got his opportunities. So I'm excited to see what Chuba can do with a coach like Duce Staley, who's going to bring that fire and that juice and really push these guys to get the best out of them, and just going to make the run with a little bit more attitude. So I definitely expect Chuba to take another big step forward, and I think we're going to see another level for him. So Raheem Blackshear and Spencer Brown both had time with us last year, and they contribute on special teams. Spencer Brown's more so of a coverage guy. Blackshear is a return guy, but those things can actually bring value. If you're going to be a running back 3, potentially 4, borderline, practice squad, you're going to have to contribute on the special teams. So that's what these two guys can do. The newcomer to this group is Cameron Peoples and Tion Evans. Tion Evans was brought in as a guy from Ole Miss, but Cameron Peoples is the kind of a fan favorite thus far from what I've heard. Obviously, he went to App State, so he's a local kid. So there's going to be a lot of people rooting for him, being that he has those college roots in North Carolina. But not just that, he also brings a different element to this backfield. This guy is huge. He's 6 foot 6'2". He runs super hard. Doesn't have all the speed and the flash, but he runs with some attitude. He's a bigger back that we don't have on this team and runs with a little bit more power. With the lack of a short yardage back, I think that Cameron Peoples has a legit shot of hanging around this team. But I think that is a great segue into my player to watch for this position group, and that's going to be Raheem Blackshear, just because of Cameron Peoples. Like I said, there's a lot of guys on this team that contribute to special teams, but with Raheem Blackshear competing for that return spot, if he can lock that down, I think that's going to secure his spot. But outside of that, I think the running back threes are never really super secure. Remember that we signed Raheem Blackshear in September of last year off the Bills practice squad when he got cut from there. So it's not like they invested draft capital in him and they have super big ties to him, even though I have heard the coaches talk good and well about him throughout this offseason. Cameron Peoples can come in and actually run like some people think he can. And like I said, he's like a change of pace back. He's bigger. He runs a little bit different than some of these other guys in a different skill set. He can push. So Raheem Blackshear is going to have a hell of a training camp. And he wasn't in training camp with the Panthers last year, so I'll definitely get to lay my eyes on him personally to see what he has there a little bit closer. But I think that if he doesn't lock down that kick return position that he's going to be competing for with some receivers that's in this group, like Demir Bird or Shi Smith or Marquez Stevenson, Raheem Blackshear could be on the bubble per se, especially if certain things go a certain way. He doesn't really step up. So I'm definitely going to be watching him, especially when I'm there at camp, because I like Raheem's skill set. He had a couple touchdowns last year, showing he's a little bit scat back, you know what I'm saying, a little bit smaller, but I like him as a back so far, but I want to take a closer look and lay eyes on him. But it's going to be a lot of heat in that backfield. And like I said, as running back 3, nothing is promised, especially in the NFL where there's young guns coming for your spot every time. But I still expect Raheem Blackshear to put his best foot forward. But regardless, this position group as a whole, I think there's going to be a mainstay for our offense. You know what I'm saying? I feel the best about this probably obviously after the offensive line, better than any other group, just because we have experience, we have some youth, we have Miles Sanders who's going to be hungry and motivated, and he's going to be paired up with his former coach from Philadelphia and Duce Staley, and Duce Staley is just known to have that effect. We saw what the Lions backfield did last year with Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. So I expect nothing less from Duce Staley. He's always going to bring that juice, always going to bring that energy. He's already talked about how he's going to run through a wall before these guys. He doesn't want them to run through it for him. He wants to do it first and then get them to follow. So that's the type of spirit and mentality. And he's preaching not running out of bounds to these guys. So I expect a lot of attitude from this backfield, and I'm super excited. You guys let me know down below in the comments, what player are you going to be watching out of the backfield, and do you agree with me that Blackshear could be potentially on the bubble if things go one way or the other? I want to get you guys' thoughts down below, of course, but without further ado, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off with the Necessary Blunt Sports Talk. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications on. Give that video a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Peace.